Morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depende kung anong oras mo ito mapapanood. So, this will be our first topic sa finals, no? Glycolysis 12. Tapos naman na natin ito sa mga synchronous discussions natin. So, hindi ko na ganun i-elaborate dito, no? Mabilisan na lang siya. Pero andun pa rin naman lahat ng mga important details. Alright, let's start. Your glucose, diba? It says there that it's a monosaccharide which contains 6 carbons. No? And your glucose comes from the digestion, okay, breakdown product of our carbohydrates, mga complex carbohydrates in either polysaccharide or oligosaccharide form, di ba? At the end of digestion, ang ma-release, ang ma-produce natin at the end of digestion is your monosaccharides, which are the absorbable form of sugars, no? And primarily, what type of monosaccharide ang ginagamit ng katawan natin? It's your glucose, alright? And to take note, di ba, lahat naman ng mga disaccharides natin, diba, sucrose, lactose, maltose, ang common monosaccharides sa kanila, they all contain your glucose, alright? So, sabi dyan, your glucose is the end product of digestive breakdown of carbohydrates, which is true, di ba? From salivary amylase sa mouth, down to the pancreatic amylase, then eventually disaccharidases, and then we have Booch monosaccharides, right? Then, sabi dyan, we know that this glucose are water-soluble solute. Kaya nga, hindi nila kailangan ng ATP. Hindi natin kailangan ng energy just for these monosaccharides to be absorbed, okay, by our cells. What they need are your glucose transporters. Alright? They only require glucose transporter in order for them to diffuse inside the cells, okay? And we have different types of your glucose transporters. Now we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And take note that these glucose transporters are insulin independent except for glucose transporter 4. Your glucose transporter 4 is insulin dependent. Okay? This is the only glucose transporter that's insulin dependent. Ibig sabihin, habang nagre-release tayo ng insulin, mas lumalakas yung function niya. Mas naging active yung type ng transporter na to. And you can see it there, no? We have different types of glucose transporters, and specifically, may mga tissues na involved lang, particular tissues lang for each type of glucose transporter. So, nakalagay dyan, glucose transporter 1, we have blood, particularly RBCs, fetus, blood-brain barrier. For 2, we have kidney, liver, pancreas. 3, we have placenta, neurons, and kidneys. And 4, we have muscles and adipose tissue. Ano ulit yung mnemonics natin dito? We have for 1, we have triple B. Iba yan sa triple B ni Doc Bron sa Maniego. Alright? So, we have B here, stands for blood. No, particularly, what type of blood cell? We have RBCs. Then, we have B for baby, pero dito, syempre, fetus. Then, B for blood-brain barrier. Alright? For type 2, we have kidney, liver, pancreas. Okay, then we have, anong mnemonics natin dito before? Kids, lips. Okay, kids, lips. Okay, we have kids, the K in kids stands for kidney. L in lips for liver, and P in lips is your pancreas. Then we have kid lips. Kids' lips are pink. Okay, pink ang gagamitin natin dito. Then we have, for type 3, we have pink, P for placenta. The N in pink stands for neuron, then K for kidneys ulit. Then we have from mother and father. Okay, mother, father. The M in mother is for muscle. The F in father, adipose. Adipose tissue is made of triglyceride, generally fats. Okay, so yan, I hope that helped you. Now let's start with a formal discussion of our glycolysis. No? Yan. So, sabi dyan, it says there that your glycolysis is employed by all tissues in which glucose is broken down to provide energy in the form of ATP and intermediates for other metabolic pathways. Take note, at the end of the glycolysis process, alright, doon nakakapag-release tayo ng ATP at certain steps of the glycolysis. Hindi ATP ang end product natin sa glycolysis. Anong end product natin sa glycolysis? It's your pyruvate. Okay, as you can see it there sa second page natin. We have pyruvate. Alright, glucose, starting substrate, then ang end product natin, pyruvate. Okay? Then, generally kasi, this pyruvate, alright, this pyruvate can enter in the presence of oxygen. Okay? It can enter your Krebs cycle. Alright? With the help of the PDHC, alright, your PDHC is a pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. Okay? It's a series. Right? We have complex yan. Ibig sabihin may mga subunits yan, no? And this PDHC, pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, contains 3 enzymes. We have your enzyme 1, 2, and 3. Okay, na kung saan, after the activity of this PDHC, your pyruvate will be converted into acetyl coenzyme A. Okay, then this acetyl coenzyme A is the one that can actually enter your Krebs cycle. Okay, Krebs cycle. Then eventually after Krebs cycle, we generate energy in the form of what? ATP. Okay. The next, sabi niyan, it occurs in your cytoplasm. Take note of that. Cytoplasm to or cytosol. Okay? Your Krebs cycle occurs in the mitochondrial matrix. Your glycolysis occurs in your cytoplasm. It's the first metabolic pathway in the cytosol. It's a sequence of your 10 steps subdivided into 2 phases. Ano yung dalawang phase natin? We have energy investment and energy generation phase. So it says there, primarily, itong energy investment phase. Okay, ano mga steps ang involved dyan, sir? We have 10 steps. Your energy investment phase involves your steps 1 to 5. Okay, steps 1 to 5. Na kung saan, since energy investment phase yan, whenever we invest, diba, gumagastos tayo. We are taking the risk. Okay? We are taking the risk. And take note pala guys, this pyruvate, ulitin lang natin, sorry, nakalimutan ko sabihin. Pyruvate, nangyayari yan kailan? Anaerobic, aerobic, in the presence of oxygen. Okay, and this pyruvate contains 3 carbons. Okay, then galing tayo, ang starting substrate natin is glucose, which is 6 carbon molecule. Kaya nga, huwag kayo magtataka kung bakit dalawang pyruvate ang nare-release natin every glucose molecule. Okay? At the end of the glycolysis pattern, of the glycolysis process rather, your 1 molecule of glucose will be converted into 2 molecules of pyruvate. Okay, in each glucose molecule, it will yield into 2 pyruvate molecules. Okay, 1 glucose molecule contains 6 carbons. Each pyruvate molecule contains 3 carbons. Okay. Next, ulitin natin, energy investment phase, steps 1 to 5. Kung saan, there are certain steps, okay, in these mentioned steps, na kung saan, mag-i-invest tayo ng energy. Alright? Hindi tayo makakapag-generate, pero mag-i-invest tayo. We are taking the risk. Okay? Gagastos tayo ng ATP. Sabi dyan, phosphorylated forms of intermediates are synthesized at the expense of ATP. Alright? So, in some in processes na kung saan it requires phosphorylation, ang phosphate group, okay, when you say phosphorylation, it's the addition of phosphate group. Okay? So, in certain steps, okay, in this energy investment phase that require phosphorylation, the phosphate group that will be needed there ay manggagaling kay ATP. Okay, i-breakdown natin si ATP, magiging ano siya, ADP, from adenosine triphosphate, magiging adenosine diphosphate, and your inorganic phosphate. Kung saan itong inorganic phosphate, ito yung gagamitin natin to phosphorylate. Okay, it will be used for phosphorylation. Okay, for the addition of your phosphate group. Alright? So, yan. The next, another phase would be your energy generation phase. It includes steps 6 to 10 naman. Kung saan, generation phase. Okay? Nakaka-generate na tayo, nakakapag-produce na tayo ng energy dito. Alright? So, if your first phase requires you to spend ATP, in this phase, it gives you ATP. Alright? Nakakapag-generate na tayo ng ATP. Net of 2 molecules of ATP are formed by substrate level phosphorylation per glucose metabolized. Okay? So, sir, ano ibig sabihin ng substrate level phosphorylation? Okay? Substrate level phosphorylation, ibig sabihin yan, yung phosphate group na ginamit mo sa phosphorylation process nito ay nanggaling kay substrate. Okay? Kaya si substrate ang nag-give off ng phosphate group na kung saan siya ang magpo-phosphorylate, siya ang mag-a-add ng phosphate group kay ADP para maging ATP. Alright? Which is energy. Alright? Okay. Let's take a look here. Anong pinagkaiba niyan, sir? We have here your step 1. We have your step 1 sa glycolysis. Alright? Glucose, hexokinase, converted into glucose 6-phosphate. That's your first step. Okay. Now, we know that your steps 1 to 5, okay, there are some steps there that are included specifically for energy investment phase. Okay, and step 1 is one example of energy investment phase. Bakit? Right, ang ginawa natin sa step 1, naglagay tayo ng phosphate group kay glucose. Okay? Saang part ng glucose? Saang carbon atom ng glucose? Sa 6th carbon atom ng glucose. Leading to what? Formation of glucose 6-phosphate, di ba? Nasaan yung phosphate group? Nasa 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nasa 6 carbon atom, yung phosphate group natin. Now, ang tinatanong natin, saan nanggaling phosphate group na inad natin kay glucose? Alright? Alright? So, ang ginawa ng katawan natin, nag-spend tayo ng ATP. Nag-spend tayo ng energy. Alright? And then, tinanggalan natin siya ng isang phosphate group. Alright? Yung isang phosphate group na yun, nilagay natin sa hexokinase. Okay? Kinarga natin kay enzyme. And si enzyme, nilagay niya yun kay glucose. Saang part ng glucose? Sa 6th carbon atom ng glucose, leading to formation of glucose 6-phosphate. Okay? That's one example of your energy investment phase. Bakit? Gumastos tayo ng energy. Gumastos tayo ng ATP. Take note ha. Meron tayong ATP na ginastos dito. So, tinanggalan natin yung phosphate group, naging ADP, adenosine diphosphate. Yung isang phosphate group na tinanggal kay ATP, kinarga ni hexokinase. At nilagay ni hexokinase sa 6th carbon atom ng glucose, leading to formation of your glucose 6-phosphate. Now, that's an example of your energy investment phase. Now, ano naman yung example natin for your tawag dito substrate level phosphorylation? Okay, take a look here. The 10th step or the last step of your glycolysis. Phosphoenol pyruvate, okay, with the aid of your pyruvate kinase, will lead to the formation of your pyruvate. And take note, in this phase, alright, nakapag-phosphorylate tayo. Right? From ADP, from adenosine diphosphate, naging adenosine triphosphate. Ang tanong natin, saan ang galing yung phosphate that converted your ADP to ATP, which is generally the energy? Diba? Alright, so anong ginawa natin dyan? Yung phosphate group that converted your ADP to ATP, nanggaling yan kay substrate. When say substrate, dun mag-a-act yung enzyme. In this case, ang substrate natin si phosphoenol pyruvate. Ang enzyme natin si pyruvate kinase. Ang product natin is your pyruvate. Okay, same thing here. Ang substrate natin is your glucose. Ang enzyme natin is your hexokinase. Ang product natin is your ang G6P or your glucose 6-phosphate. Okay, basta kung saan mag-a-act si enzyme, yun yung substrate. Now, balikan natin to. The phosphate group that converted your ADP to ATP, okay, came from the substrate. Nanggaling kay phosphoenol pyruvate. Alright? Kinarga ni pyruvate kinase. Alright? Na kung saan, in the presence of ADP, right, i-unload ngayon ni pyruvate kinase yung karga niyang phosphate group kay ADP, converting the ADP into what? ATP. Then, natanggalan na ng phosphate group yung pyruvate. As you can see there, wala na siyang phosphate group. And that's one example of substrate level phosphorylation. And take note guys, I just want you to know that whenever phosphorylation is being mentioned here, take note of the enzyme agad. Okay? Lagi. Pag phosphorylation in glycolysis, okay? Laging ang enzyme dito ay kinase enzyme. Okay, like pyruvate kinase, phosphorylation, diba? It's a substrate level phosphorylation. Take note of the first step, hexokinase. There is a phosphorylation process being observed there. Okay, pero for the phosphate group, nanggaling sa energy na provide ng katawan natin. Alright, dun lang sila nag-iba. Okay. Sana clear yon. Kasi di ko alam if clear yon sa inyo, hindi ko naririnig. Pero, yeah, I hope that's clear. Okay, let's first start with the energy investment phase, of course, kasi involved dito ang steps 1 to 5. Alright, so for step 1, okay, it includes the phosphorylation of your glucose. Alright, sabi dyan, there is no specific transmembrane carriers for phosphorylated glucose, hence they do not readily penetrate the cell membrane. Irreversible phosphorylation of glucose, effectively trapping the sugar as cytosolic glucose 6-phosphate catalyzed by your several isoenzymes of your hexokinase. Anong ibig sabihin ng isoenzymes? Okay, when say isoenzymes of one another, they contain the both composition. Alright, in terms of composition, pare-parehas sila. Saan sila nagkaiba, sir? Sa arrangement ng mga composition na yun. Alright, and in this case, itong hexokinase daw na enzyme na tinatawag natin is meron siyang 4. Okay? 4 isoenzymes. Or parang 4 na forms. Okay? Now, madali lang i-memorize yan. 4 isoenzymes of hexokinase are your hexokinase 1, 2, 3, and your 4. Okay? 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want you to take note of the type 4 ulit. Anong meron dyan? It's also known, hexokinase 4 is also known as your glucokinase. Alright? So, ano bang pinagkaiba ng glucokinase sa hexokinase generally? Now we're talking. Hindi. Okay, then, let's just have here hexokinase. Okay, hexokinase versus your glucokinase. Your hexokinase, okay, can be differentiated into glucokinase by several parameters. We have, first is depending on our distribution, tissue distribution. Saan ba yan nakikita? Saang tissue yan? Your hexokinase can be found on most tissues. Okay? While your glucokinase can only be found in your liver parenchymal cells and in your beta cells of your pancreas, islets of Langerhans of your pancreas. Okay? The next, we have the substrate. Okay? Substrate. Your substrate here, your hexokinase can act on any hexose sugar. Alright? Several hexose sugar. When say hexose, ilang carbon ulit? 6, di ba? Hexose. Like your glucose, it's a 6-carbon sugar. So, it is considered as a hexose. Alright? So, in terms of substrate, kung saan pwede mag-act sa hexokinase, any hexose sugar. Pwede yun. Alright? So, pwede ang glucose. Now, your glucokinase is glucose lang. Walang iba. Glucose lang. Loyal ka kay glucose. Alright? The next, we have inhibition by your G6P. Ano yung G6P? Glucose 6-phosphate. Right? Take note that your hexokinase is inhibited by your G6P, while your glucokinase ay hindi. Okay? So, you can take it here, no? Second step. Once being converted to G6P, hindi na siya maibabalik into its glucose form. Alright? Kasi hexokinase yung involved enzyme doon. Okay? Paano natin nasabi? It's because one directional lang yung arrow natin. When we see this arrow here, okay, that means reversible yung reaction. Pero kung ganito lang, ganyan lang, that's your irreversible reaction. Hindi siya naibabalik sa dati. Okay? And last parameter would be the induction by insulin. Okay? Induced by insulin. Sino sa kanila ang pwedeng may direct relationship with your insulin? It's your glucokinase. In terms of tissue distribution, it can be found in your beta cells of pancreas. So, generally, yes for your glucokinase and no for your hexokinase. Diba? Your beta cells, dyan ginagawa yung insulin natin. Alright? So, may direct relationship yung ating glucokinase with the levels of insulin or activity of insulin. Okay. So, yun lang naman. For step 1, ulit lang natin. Your step 1 is the conversion of your glucose with the help of the enzyme hexokinase, okay? And your 2-glucose 6-phosphate, okay? So, sabi nga natin, whenever I see girls and boys, every time na nakakita tayo ng word na phosphorylation, ano yung in-expect nating enzyme? Especially ngayon, na discuss tayo ng glycolysis, it's your kinase enzyme. Alright, whenever we read phosphorylation, so we're gonna add phosphate group dito. And hindi. Okay, laging tatandaan na whenever you encounter the term phosphorylation, okay, kinase enzyme yan sa glycolysis. Okay, and take note, this is an irreversible phosphorylation. So once na nalagyan natin ng phosphate group, di na siya babalik. Okay? Yun. So with the help of the enzyme, the kinase enzyme known as your hexokinase, okay, so kinase, may phosphorylation dyan. Mag-add siya ng phosphate group sa ating glucose sa ang part sa 6th carbon atom ng glucose, forming your glucose 6-phosphate. Saan galing yung phosphate group? Nag-release tayo ng ATP. Okay? Tinanggalan natin yung isang phosphate group kaya naging ADP. Tapos isang phosphate group, kinalagay ng hexokinase, nilagay niya sa 6th carbon atom ng ating glucose, forming now your glucose 6-phosphate. That's all for your step 1. Okay? Then next we have step 2, isomerization of your glucose 6-phosphate. When say isomerization, parang rearrangement of the components of the structure. So, ibig sabihin, yung product mo sa step 2 has the same composition with what? With the glucose 6-phosphate. Okay? Yung glucose 6-phosphate, which is your substrate in your step 2, has the same composition with your fructose 6-phosphate. Pare-pare sila ng number of carbon atoms, number of hydrogen bonds, hydrogen atoms, carbon atoms, ano pa ba? Phosphate groups. Diba? Pare-pare sila. Nagkaiba-iba lang sa arrangement ng mga components na yun, leading to another type of product. So, yun. We know that your glucose is an aldose sugar, di ba? Aldose sugar kasi nga meron siyang aldehyde group. Your fructose is a ketose sugar kasi meron siyang ketone group. Right? And take note, by composition, they are the same. Pero at the end of the reaction, magkaibang type of products na sila. Okay? From an aldose sugar, magiging ketose sugar. Okay? With the aid of what enzyme? Siyempre, an isomerase enzyme. Okay, isomerization process eh. Siyempre, ang enzyme dyan is isomerase. Alright? So, this enzyme will rearrange the structure of glucose 6-phosphate leading to the formation of your fructose 6-phosphate. And take note, this reaction, this step is readily reversible. Okay? Readily reversible and not rate limiting step. Not rate limiting step. Okay? So, rate limiting, walang nakaka-affect na factors dito sa enzyme natin. Unlike sa Krebs cycle, di ba? Yung sa step 1 mo pa lang sa Krebs cycle, may mga regulators ka na dun. Okay. Next, sige, i-highlight lang natin yung next step doon. Alright? So, ibang kulay siya. Yan. From glucose, this will be your step 2, glucose 6-phosphate. Okay? With the enzyme phosphoglucose or phosphohexose isomerase, it means the same thing. It will be converted into fructose 6-phosphate. Pero for the exam, I want you to use na lang phosphohexose. Okay? Para uniform. Kasi ito yung ginamit ko sa exam. Phosphohexose isomerase. Okay? Leading to the formation of your fructose 6-phosphate. So, kung galing tayo sa aldose sugar, which is glucose 6-phosphate, to ketose sugar, which is your fructose 6-phosphate. Okay? Nagkaroon lang ng rearrangement ng mga molecules. Okay. Alright. We're done with your step 2. That's all for your step 2. Okay? The next we have your step 3. Alright? Your step 3 involves phosphorylation of fructose 6-phosphate. So, ibig sabihin, phosphorylation. Anong enzyme to? Kinase. Okay? In this case, what kinase enzyme? It's your phosphofructokinase 1, PFK1. So, ang tanong, saan manggagaling ang phosphate group na i-add ng ating phosphofructokinase kay fructose 6-phosphate para magkaroon tayo ng fructose 1,6-bis-phosphate. Okay. Sabi dyan, most important control point and the rate limiting step and committed step of your glycolysis. Take note of the word committed. Once you go there, okay, there's no going back. Okay, so this reaction is irreversible. Okay, irreversible phosphorylation for carbon 1 producing fructose 1,6-bis-phosphate, which is F16BP, catalyzed by the phosphofructokinase 1 or PFK1. Okay, what does that mean by bis-phosphate ulit, di ba? Anong pinagkaiba niya sa biphosphate? Say bis-phosphate, okay, wait lang. In terms of similarity, both of these terms describes that the molecule has 2 phosphate groups. Okay? Nakaiba lang sa arrangement. Okay, arrangement na naman, sir. Kaiba lang kung saan nakalagay yung dalawang phosphate group na yun. When say bis phosphate, alright? So, meron kang phosphate group. Pero, between phosphate group ay mga carbon atoms tayo. Carbon, then another phosphate group. Tignan mo. Meron tayong dalawang phosphate group, pero yung phosphate groups na dalawa is hindi magkatabi. Say, biphosphate. Dito, meron tayong phosphate groups na magkatabi. Then, carbon. That's your biphosphate. Bis phosphate, phosphate group, between carbon atoms. Okay? Bisphosphate yan. Alright? So, yun lang. For step 3, ano daw gagawin? Anong gagawin? Mag-a-add na naman tayo ng phosphate group. Okay, ang tanong natin, saan manggagaling yung phosphate group na yun? So, manggaling tayo, for step 3, manggagaling tayo kay fructose 6-phosphate. Okay? With the aid of the enzyme phosphofructokinase 1. Alright? It will add a phosphate group on your fructose 6-phosphate. Sa ang part ng fructose 6-phosphate sa first carbon atom, leading to the formation of what? Fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Okay, ulitin natin kasi napasobra ako sa shading. Yan lang dapat. Okay, take note. It's, syempre, phosphorylation, kinase enzyme yan. Diba? Kinase enzyme. Ang tanong natin, saan ang galing yung phosphate group na kinarga ng phosphofructokinase 1? Galing ulit sa in-invest nating energy. Okay, nag-invest na naman tayo dito. So, we have the investment steps are your steps 1 and steps 3. Okay, particularly. So, may ilang ATP na ang ginagastos natin? We have 1 and 2. Okay, we have 2 ATPs na ang ginagastos natin. So, same lang, parang ginawa ni hexokinase. Yung isang phosphate group ng ATP, alright, kinuha niya at kinarga niya kay fructose 6-phosphate. Saan niya kinarga this time? It's in the first carbon. So, take note ha, nasa 6 carbon dati yung mga phosphate groups natin. Pero pagdating natin dito, meron na tayong dalawang phosphate group which is in the carbons 1 and 6. Leading to the formation of what? Fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Bisphosphate, tama ba? Yes. Kasi nga merong carbon atoms between them. Okay? From ATP, na energy na nirelease ng ating katawan. Okay, tatanggalan siya ng isang phosphate group, nagiging ADP na lang. Tapos yung phosphate group na yun, kakarga natin kay fructose 6-phosphate, sa part ng fructose 6-phosphate sa carbon 1. Okay, ano yung enzyme? Phosphofructokinase 1. Okay, kaya nga, at the end of this reaction, meron tayong dalawang phosphate group dyan, carbons 1 and 6, leading to formation of what? Fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. That's all for your step 3. Okay, and next, we have step 4. Okay, step 4 involves the cleavage of your fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. So, i-cleave natin, hahatiin natin, separate natin. Alright? So, aldolase cleaves fructose 1,6-bisphosphate to dihydroxyacetone phosphate and your glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. And take note that this reaction is reversible. Okay? Reversible and not regulated. Not regulated kasi walang ibang factors na nakaka-affect sa enzyme natin. Okay? Kaya not regulated. Walang nag-stimulate, walang nag-inhibit. Okay. Then, sige. Step 4, i-cleave down natin ito. Right? Take note, ilang carbon atoms meron tayo sa fructose 1,6-bisphosphate? 6. Diba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tapos yung carbons 1 and 6, then nandun naka-attach yung ating mga phosphate groups. Alright, with the help, in your fourth step, okay, your fructose 1,6-bisphosphate will be cleaved into 2 molecules, into 2 products, and each product contains 3 carbon atoms. Okay? Ano yung mga products na yun? Take note. Fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, with the help of the enzyme aldolase, it will yield to the generation of our glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, which contains 3 carbon atoms, and another 3 carbon atom product, which is your dihydroxyacetone phosphate. That's all. I-cleave lang niya. Right? Booge. Hati. Then, each one will contain 3 carbon atoms and each one will contain 1 phosphate group. Ano yung mga dalawang product na yun? It's your glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and your dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Pero take note, between glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and your DHAP, okay? Or DHAP or your dihydroxyacetone phosphate, only glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate or G3P can actually push through the reaction. That's why, sa step 5 mo, anong gagawin sa step 5 mo? Mag-undergo tayo ng isomerization. Ibig sabihin ng isomerization, rearrangement of the components of the structures. Right? So, yun ang gagawin mo sa step 5. Anong gagawin daw sa step 5 ay isomerization of dihydroxyacetone phosphate. So, i-rearrange natin yung structure ng dihydroxyacetone phosphate para maging Para maging glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Bakit kailangan to? Kasi nga, mas stable si G3P, and take note, only G3P is required for the pathway to proceed. As you can see it there. No, yung DHAP natin, hindi naman nag-proceed yung reaction sa DHAP eh. Diba? Wala nang reaction dyan. So, anong gagawin natin? I-convert daw natin yung DHAP into G3P. Okay? Now, reversible ba tong step 5? Yes. Reversible po tong step 5 natin. Okay? Reversible pa rin yan. Okay. Now, I want you to take note that at the end of our 5th step, ano yung 5th step natin? Conversion of DHAP to G3P. Okay? Yun yung 5th step natin. Okay. I want you to take note that at the end of the conversion of your DHAP para maging G3P, at the end of your step 5, the last step in your energy investment phase, okay? Magkakaroon na tayo ng dalawang G3P molecules. Okay? Meron na tayong dalawang G3P molecules. Take note. Kaya meron tayong bracket dyan, tapos naka times 2. Okay? Yan yung ibig niyang sabihin. Ibig sabihin yan, from this step, no? From 6 to 10 step, meron na tayong dalawang substrate, dalawang products na mapoproduce and even byproducts. So, at the end of the glycolysis process, dalawang pyruvate ang ma-generate natin. Bakit? Kasi each of this molecule of G3P will push through the process of glycolysis and will yield into one molecule of pyruvate. Eh, dalawang G3P natin eh. Eh di dalawang pyruvate din. Ibig sabihin yan, sa 6th step, which is conversion of G3P to 1,3-bis phosphate, it should be bis, kasi meron tayong carbon between phosphate group. This should be 1,3-bis phosphate. Bis-phosphoglycerate, sorry. Okay, bis-phosphoglycerate. Now, I want you to take note sa ating 6th step, the conversion of G3P to 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate. Dalawa yan lahat. So, ibig sabihin, yung NAD na mako-convert to NADH, dalawa din. Dalawang NADH, dalawang inorganic phosphate, dalawang ADP dyan, dalawa yan, ano ba? Lahat ng products and substrate magiging dalawa. Ay, enzyme naman yun. Okay? Kaya, maglilid tayo ng dalawang pyruvate molecules at the end. Kasi meron tayong dalawang G3P molecules. So, from step 6 to 10, I want you to take note na dalawang beses yan mangyayari. So, dalawang beses din makakapag-yield ang mga products, dalawang beses tayo makakapag-yield ang mga substrates, and even mga byproducts of the reaction. Okay? Okay, I hope that's clear. Ha? Okay. Now, we're done with your energy investment phase. Saan tayo? Particular steps nag-invest, steps 1 and 3, which are generally the phosphorylation processes lang. Alright? Dito tayo nakapag-invest ng mga ATP. Dito tayo gumastos ng mga ATP. Ilang ATP ang nagastos natin? From steps 1 to 5, dalawa. Okay? Nag-sacrifice tayo ng dalawang ATP molecules. So, we're done with your first phase. Now, punta tayo sa second phase natin, which is energy generation phase. Sabi niyan, step 6. Okay? Sabi natin, nag-start yan sa step 6. Mag-end yan sa step 10. Alright? Sa energy generation phase. Ito. Alright. So, step 6 tayo, oxidation of your glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Whenever you read oxidation reaction, okay, I want you to take note na, syempre, dehydrogenase enzyme yan. Diba? Dehydrogenase enzymes are the one responsible for reduction and oxidation processes. Okay, and in this case, whenever in glycolysis, whenever you read oxidation, there's a conversion of your NAD and AD, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, to NADH. Okay? But important i-answer. Kasi nga, meron siyang hydride na nakukuha, converting the NAD to NADH. Kung saan, itong hydride na to, na nasa NADH, normally, in the presence of oxygen, it will transport it into the electron transport chain, leading to the formation of what? ATP. Okay? Ganyan yan. Ang problema, kapag walang oxygen, negative oxygen, saan i-unload ni NADH yung excess hydride niya? Kanino? Kay pyruvate. Okay? Pyruvate. I-unload niya kay pyruvate, leading to the formation of what? Lactate, or your lactic acid. In this reaction, anong enzyme ang involved yan? It's your LDH or your LD. It means the same thing, which is your lactate dehydrogenase. Okay? Right. Alright, so sabi niyan, step 6, conversion of your glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate to 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate by your glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. Okay? So, right, so ganito. Take note that this is the first oxidation. No, your step 6 is the first oxidation reaction of your glycolysis. Okay? Kasi, with the process of oxidation, we are converting your NAD to NADH. Okay? The NAD to NADH. Na kung saan yung NADH can either, sabi nga na, in the presence of oxygen, can either transport or unload its excess hydride saan? Sa electron transport chain na kung saan magiging ATP. Or kapag sobra-sobra, anong pwede mangyari? Pwedeng ma-unload kay pyruvate, leading to the formation of lactic acid with the aid of your lactate dehydrogenase. Okay? So, ganun. So, ang step 6 natin, oxidation of your glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Whenever we read oxidation here, alam nyo na agad na mayroong conversion ng NAD to NADH. Okay? So, ito ang ating step 6. So, yan. From G3P, okay, with the aid of your glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, okay, it will lead to the formation of your 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate. Now, paano nangyari yan, sir? With the aid of the enzyme, dehydrogenase enzyme, it will rip off a molecule of hydride from G3P. Kukuha siya ng hydride sa G3P. Kung saan yung hydride na yun, it will convert the NAD to NADH. Okay? Now, saan galing yung inorganic phosphate, sir? Okay, galing lang din yan sa oxidation reaction. Okay? Galing lang din yan sa oxidation reaction. Okay? It's a chain reaction, somewhat a chain reaction from the oxidation process caused by our glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. Kaya, other than the conversion of NAD to NADH, we actually release a one molecule of your inorganic phosphate na kung saan na-add natin dun sa substrate, leading to the formation of a 2-phosphate molecule. Okay? Kaya naging dalawa na yung phosphate group natin dito. Right? So, we have here at carbons 1 and 3. Okay? Leading to the formation of what product? 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate. 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate. Okay? That's the end of your step 6 oxidation reaction. Okay? The next, we have your step 7. Okay? Step 7 is the synthesis of your 3-phosphoglycerate producing ATP. Okay, so there's a conversion of your 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate to 3-phosphoglycerate catalyzed by your phosphoglycerate kinase. Okay, so kinase. So merong phosphorylation na naganap, di ba? Kinase enzyme yan eh. So sabi diyan, high energy phosphate group of 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate is used to synthesize 2 ATP from 2 ADP. Eh sir, bakit dito sa figure mo, isang ATP lang, isang ADP lang? Okay, dito di ba? It's because naka times 2 yan, di ba? Naka times 2 yan. Kasi dalawa yung molecules natin ng G3P. So dalawang beses magra-run tong reaction na to. So each turn of this reaction mag-yield siya ng conversion of isang molecule ng ADP sa isang molecule ng ATP. Dalawa yung G3P natin. So dalawang turn. So leading to the conversion of 2 ADP to 2 ATP. And take note, dito na pumapasok yung sinasabi nating substrate level phosphorylation. Take note, 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate yung substrate natin dito. Sa step 7, anong nangyayari sa step 7? Diba? Mako-convert natin yung 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate into what? 3-phosphoglycerate. Alright. So, saan napunta yung isang phosphate group, sir? Okay? Yung isang phosphate group na natanggal kay 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate, okay? Dinala ng ating phosphoglycerate kinase kay ADP, leading to formation of what? ATP. Right? So, ito ay isang example ng energy generation step. Okay? Particularly your substrate level phosphorylation. Bakit substrate level? Kasi nga, yung phosphate group dito sa reaction natin is nanggaling kay substrate, which is your 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate. Step 7, ang substrate natin is your 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate. Ang product natin ay 3-phosphoglycerate. Enzyme natin si phosphoglycerate kinase. Okay? Kaya kung mapapansin mo dyan, from that in a 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate, okay, yung phosphate group nasa carbons 1 and 3. after the reaction, isa na lang yung phosphate group mo, yung nasa carbon 3 na lang. Kasi yung isa, tinanggal natin, okay, tinanggal ang ating enzyme at dinala kay ADP, converting it to ATP. Okay, and take note, dalawang beses siya mangyari, kaya dalawang ATP ang mapoproduce natin in this step. Okay, kaya dalawa na yan, right? Now, we're done with your step 7. That's all for your step 7. Okay? Take note, ha? Whenever you see this, it's reversible or irreversible reaction. Take note, it's an example also of your substrate level phosphorylation. So we have here step 8. We're almost done. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. Stage na pala tayo. Sorry. Alright. So, alright. Sabi dyan, Step 8 involves the shift of the phosphate group from carbon 3 to carbon 2. Pinakamadaling step to. Kasi lilipat lang natin yung phosphate group ng ating 3-phosphoglycerate. Okay? Para maging 2-phosphoglycerate siya. So, there's a shift of phosphate group from carbon 3 to carbon 2 of phosphoglycerate by phosphoglycerate mutase. Okay? And take note, reversible po ulit yan. Okay? So, you can see it here that nilipat lang natin literal, no? From 3-phosphoglycerate, ibig sabihin yung phosphate group natin nasa carbon 3. Okay? 3-phosphoglycerate. Nasa carbon 3 yung carbon natin, yung phosphate natin. With the help of the phosphoglycerate mutase, no, ililipat natin yung phosphate group natin sa second carbon. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Nandyan na siya. Okay? Okay? Leading to the formation of what? 2-phosphoglycerate. Okay? Ano yung enzyme? Phosphoglycerate mutase. Right? Now, we're done with your step 8. That's all. Okay? Step 9, dehydration of your 2-phosphoglycerate. Diba sa OrgChem, the best dehydrating agent are your alcohol. Diba? Sinabi dyan. Kaya, sa step 9, since dehydration yan, okay? Dehydration yan, alcohol din yung involved dito. So, dehydration of your 2-phosphoglycerate by enolase redistributes the energy within the 2-phosphoglycerate molecule and results in formation of your high-energy compound, phosphoenol pyruvate, or your PEP. Okay? Now, again, this step is reversible. Okay? Reversible. Anong nangyayari yan sa step 9 na yan? Take note, guys, that ang substrate natin for step 9 is your 2-phosphoglycerate. Okay? That's your substrate. Diyan mag-a-act yung enzyme. Tapos pa rin violet. Pa ba? Green. Okay. 2-phosphoglycerate, enolase, then phosphoenol pyruvate. Okay. Now, ano bang ginawa ng enolase? Alright? Enolase, enol. Okay? Yung say enol, something like alcohol. Diba? And in OrgChem, diba? Your alcohol contains a branch chain of OH. Alright? So, ang ginagawa ni enolase, yung OH sa kanyang alcohol is, ang ginagawa niya, nagre-release siya ng water. Okay? H2O. Kung saan, tinatanggal niya yan. Pero, pinapalitan niya ng phosphate group. Okay? Pinapalitan niya yan ng phosphate group. To actually stabilize. Okay? Para mas mapadami pa yung energy. Para ma-intensify niya yung energy contained in this end product, which is called your 2-phosphoenol 2 daw. Sorry. Your phosphoenol pyruvate. PEP. Walang 2 phosphoenol pyruvate. Okay? So, ganun yung ginagawa niya. Nag-release siya ng water. Generally, dehydration. Diba? Tinatanggalan natin ng tubig. Pinapalitan niya phosphate group. Para mas stabilize yung structure as mas ma-intensify yung amount ng energy dito sa molecule ng PEP natin. That's all for step 9. Okay? Ano yung enzyme? Enolase. Okay? Enolase. Reversible. Yun lang din mga must knows dyan. Then we have step 10, the last step for your glycolysis, which is the formation of the end product of glycolysis, the pyruvate. Okay, formation of pyruvate producing ATP. Okay, now this involves the conversion of your PEP to pyruvate catalyzed by your pyruvate kinase. Okay, then take note that this step is another example of your SLP, substrate level phosphorylation. So you can see it here, so last step, which is our example kanina, di ba? Yun lang din naman yun. So we have phosphoenol pyruvate, the aid of your pyruvate kinase, leading to formation of your pyruvate. Okay. Yun. So, sabi dyan, since substrate level nga dyan, no, as you can see there, na-explain naman kanina, yung phosphate group na kinalaga ni pyruvate kinase, kasi nga phosphorylation pa rin to. Phosphorylation of ADP to produce ATP, di ba? Ang phosphate group na ginamit dyan is nanggaling kay substrate, which is your PEP, di ba? Leading to the formation of what? Pyruvate. As you can see there, wala ng phosphate group. Okay, and sabi natin kanina na your pyruvate can actually have two fates. Depende kung mayroon or walang oxygen. Okay? Kung merong oxygen, right, it will be converted into what? Into your, okay? Pwedeng ma-involve dyan ang ating transition step. Your pyruvate dehydrogenase PDHC. Okay, complex. Kung saan this PDHC contains ilang enzyme? 3 enzymes. Okay? At the end of this transition step, it will convert your pyruvate into acetyl-CoA, which is the first substrate in the first reaction of your Krebs cycle along with your OAA, no? Leading to formation of citrate. No? Krebs cycle na to, ha? Nasa Krebs cycle na yun. Alright. Then, if walang oxygen, okay, anong nangyayari? Your pyruvate is being converted into what? Into lactate, diba? Or lactic acid with the aid of your LDH, lactate dehydrogenase. Paano nangyayari yan? Kasi nga, na-unload kay pyruvate yung mga excess hydrides from your NADH. Diyan nila ina-unload. Kasi hindi pwedeng magtagal yung excess hydrides sa mga NADH natin. Okay, leading to the formation of your lactate or lactic acid, which causes now your acidosis states nyo. Alright? So, it will cause an acidosis states sa mga tao. Kasi nga acid yan. Okay? Pero normally, kapag hindi naman ganun kadami yung lactate form, okay, normally, punta yan sa liver, kung saan yung liver, gagamitin yung lactate to create glucose. Okay? Anong tawag ulit natin sa process na yun? Formation of glucose from non-carbohydrate sources. Gluconeogenesis. Okay? Then, eventually, the glucose will be used in the production of your ATP. Alright? ATP. Okay. Kailan ba nangyari, sir, na hindi na-overcome yan? Okay, kapag nag-exercise ka, okay, sobrang daming excess hydrides. Okay, and of those excess hydrides, hindi pwedeng magtagal. So, ang ginagawa ng katawan natin, ina-unload niya sa mga pyruvate. Okay, leading to the formation of your lactate. Okay, your lactate can aid in the glucose metabolism. Siyempre, pwede pa rin siyang maging glucose and eventually energy. Pero kapag sobrang lactate, okay, kapag sobrang lactate, it will cause metabolic acidosis. Kasi acids yan eh. Kaya nga, ang compensation natin kapag nag-exercise tayo intensively, di ba? Hinihingal tayo, nag-hyperventilate tayo. In such a way, at least makapag-release man lang tayo ng mga excess acids in the form of carbon dioxide. Okay, so I hope medyo okay naman. I hope clear, no? Kasi paulit-ulit na natin itong diniscuss. Pero if you have questions, you can ask me sa GC. Okay, sa GC kayo mag-chat para makita natin agad at makita din ng ibang kaklase nyo. Baka same kayo ng question, ganun. Okay, let's first have your quiz. Hindi, walang quiz. Okay. Let's try to have ano ba? Net products of your aerobic glycolysis. No? Okay, so ang net products natin, H-glucose will have 2 pyruvate, di ba? Kasi magkakaroon tayo ng dalawang G3P, kaya nga mauulit lahat from steps 6 to 10. So, leading to the formation of 2 pyruvate molecules. Other than that, okay, magkakaroon tayo ng dalawang ADP na mako-convert into what? Dalawang ATP. Okay? So, from 6 to 10 yan, if you still remember. Then, another one, dalawang NAD plus 2 and dalawang NADH. Okay, that's your net products of aerobic glycolysis. Okay, when say net product, ibig sabihin, di ba? Bakit net products, sir? Dalawa lang, di ba? 4 yun kasi dalawang beses ka mag-undergo ng release ng phosphorylation step 6 to 10. Di ba? Nag-invest ka ng dalawang ATP, di ba? From steps 1 and 3. Then, ang payoff is 4 na ATP. Bakit? Dalawang beses dito, then dalawang beses dyan. Alright? Dalawa, 4. Pero, kung when say net, we have to subtract the gross amount from the gross amount and your invested amount. So we have gross amount minus invested amount. Gross amount is 4 minus 2. We have 2 net amounts of ATP. Okay? So for ATP yield kasi medyo ano siya, from substrate level phosphorylation, di ba? We have energy investment phase. Ilan yung ilang ATP yun? 2. Right? Then energy generation phase, 4 yung na-generate natin. So for net ATP yield, 2 lang, no? 2 lang ang net ATP yield natin. So for oxidative phosphorylation, which requires now your electron transport chain, no? Dalawa kasi yan, no? Dalawa kasi yan. Sige, sulat na lang natin. Let's simplify this one. So alam na natin na ang net ATP natin at the end of glycolysis is 2 lang. Alright? So pero if we're gonna consider the ATP that can yield from oxidative phosphorylation, oxidative, so aerobic to, no? Which allows now the generation of ATP from NADH. Alright? Meron kasi tayong dalawang shuttle sa ating oxidative phosphorylation. We have first your glycerophosphate shuttle. Okay, then another shuttle is your malate aspartate shuttle. Okay, malate aspartate shuttle. Sa glycerophosphate shuttle, okay, there will be 4 ATP formed. Okay, we have another one. Under the same shuttle, we have 2 ATP from glycolysis plus 4 ATP from your electron transport chain. Ilan yan lahat? 6 ATP. Okay? 6 ATP. While, on the other hand, your malate aspartate shuttle, okay, there will be 6 ATP formed. Okay? Generally, pero gross amount, we have 2 ATP from glycolysis pa rin. And another 6 ATP from your electron transport chain. It's a total of 8. Alright? 8 ATP. Sir, bakit 6 ang sinabi mo dyan? Kasi nga, nag-invest ka ng dalawang ATP. Same with here, di ba? Bakit 6 ang sinabi mo dyan? 4 lang ang sinabi mo sa taas. Yung invested amount na 2 ATP from energy investment phase. Okay, yun lang naman, guys. Yun lang. I forgot to add it on your synchronous discussion. Pero, that's all. Okay? Thank you for listening. Goodbye, everyone.